Today, we're exploring 10 of Marvel's darkest heroes, characters who may use brutal methods, but ultimately fight for justice. I won't be including characters like Deadpool or Venom, as they aren't truly motivated by justice. While they may oppose villains, their actions are often driven by personal gain, revenge, or chaos rather than a real sense of right and wrong.
Well, I may be super, but I am no hero.
With that out of the way, let's dive in. First up, we have the Punisher.
You call me the Punisher, ain't that right? The big bad Punisher.
Frank Castle isn't your typical hero, but make no mistake, he's still fighting for justice. Once a decorated Marine, his life was shattered when a brutal crime claimed his entire family, leaving him with nothing but grief and an unyielding drive for retribution. Determined to ensure that no one else suffers as he did, Frank embraced a strict moral code that leaves no room for compromise. As the Punisher, he doesn't simply capture villains. He eradicates them, using extreme methods that strike at the heart of criminal networks.
Bang.
Every methodical, harrowing move is a direct response to the corruption that tore his life apart, transforming personal tragedy into a relentless, one-man crusade against crime.
Now, I don't like him any more than you do, but here's the thing. He's not a common criminal. He's not malicious in intent. Frank Castle is actually a good man.
Frank Castle doesn't hesitate. He doesn't negotiate. He doesn't forgive. He's a hero, but his world is one of endless war. The question is, can a hero who crosses every line ever truly find peace? Next on the list, we've got Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is a hero bound to the supernatural. Whether it's Johnny Blaze or Robbie Reyes, he carries a heavy burden, acting as the spirit of vengeance. He doesn't just stop villains. He punishes them with the penance stare, forcing them to experience all the pain they've caused.
Feel their pain.
His powers are terrifying, and his presence alone strikes fear into the worst of criminals. But at his core, Ghost Rider is still a hero, one cursed to fight for justice in the darkest way possible. No one outruns the Ghost Rider. No one hides from the spirit of vengeance. If you've sinned, you're already marked, and he's coming.
You. Guilty.
Coming in at number 3, we have Wolverine. Wolverine is one of Marvel's most iconic heroes, but behind his claws and healing factor, there's a darkness that's hard to ignore. Born James Howlett, but better known as Logan, he's lived through wars, betrayals, and experiments that turned him into a weapon. The Weapon X program left him with a fractured past and a deep, constant struggle between the man he wants to be and the beast he's forced to become. Logan doesn't go looking for violence, but when it comes his way, he's not afraid to unleash it. Still, for all the bloodshed and rage, Logan manages to hold on to a sense of right and wrong. He's been through hell, but he still fights for justice, proving that even someone as broken as him can still be a hero.
Whoever you think I am, you got the wrong guy.
You were always the wrong guy. Till you weren't.
Logan is a survivor, but survival has cost him everything: his friends, his peace, even his own sanity at times. But despite the blood on his hands, he always fights to be something more than just an animal. Next up, we've got one of the most powerful heroes in the Marvel Universe, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is on a journey of immense power and constant temptation. As the Sorcerer Supreme, he holds knowledge and abilities that can shape the very fabric of reality.
You gotta be kidding me.
But with this power comes a continuous battle with the darker consequences of using it. The mystical arts he wields are dangerous and can quickly turn against him if he's not careful. Strange is no stranger to sacrifice. He's lost loved ones, faced ancient evils, and constantly teeters on the edge of heroism and hubris. Yet, through every challenge, he remains steadfast in his duty to protect the world, even if it means sacrificing his own peace of mind. Strange's inner conflict is as powerful as any spell he casts, and it's this tension between light and darkness that makes him one of Marvel's most compelling dark heroes. There's a reason they say magic is dangerous. For Doctor Strange, that danger is a daily reality.
This time it's gonna take more than killing me to kill me.
Moving on, we have Blade. Blade's mission is clear: rid the world of vampires. Born as a half-human, half-vampire hybrid, he uses his powers to fight creatures of the night. But his war is more than just physical, it's personal. He walks a fine line between his human side and the darkness that lurks within him. Unlike most heroes, Blade doesn't have the luxury of peace. His fight never ends, and neither does his thirst for vengeance. Vampires don't get days off, and neither does Blade. The world keeps turning because he keeps hunting. Simple as that.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Up next, we've got Moon Knight. Mark Spector wasn't always Moon Knight. He was a battle-hardened mercenary who nearly lost everything in the unforgiving Egyptian desert, until Khonshu, the enigmatic moon god, intervened with a second chance. Now, as Moon Knight, he fights crime after dark while grappling with inner demons. His dissociative identity disorder forces him to switch between distinct personas: the intelligent Stephen Grant, the streetwise cab driver Jake Lockley, and the relentless Moon Knight.
Sorry.
Each side adds its own unpredictable twist to his dark crusade. Mark Spector's fight is never just against the bad guys. It's a constant battle with himself. With Khonshu's power and his fractured mind, Moon Knight's darkness makes him one of the most unpredictable and dangerous heroes around. For our seventh hero, we have Daredevil. Daredevil is a hero defined by his constant struggle between light and darkness. By day, Matt Murdock is a lawyer fighting for justice.
How long have you been practicing law?
Time is it?
It's 12:22 a.m.
About 7 hours.
But by night, he becomes Daredevil, a vigilante who prowls Hell's Kitchen, using brutal tactics to take down criminals. While he refuses to kill, his methods often push the boundaries of what's considered heroic. He's not afraid to break bones, intimidate, or leave his enemies in a state of fear.
My ass remains unwhooped.
His deep sense of guilt, personal trauma, and complex relationship with faith often lead him to question whether he's truly making a difference or simply becoming the darkness he's trying to fight. Despite this inner conflict, Daredevil continues to fight for justice, showing that, despite his darkness, he continues to embody what it means to be a hero. Daredevil's world isn't one of colorful costumes and hopeful victories. It's cold, brutal, and unforgiving. When the law fails, the devil has to take justice into his own hands. At number 8, we've got X-23. Born in a lab and raised to kill, X-23, or Laura Kinney, was designed to be the perfect weapon. A clone of Wolverine, she inherited his claws, healing factor, and an unrelenting pain that's been with her since childhood. Unlike Logan, Laura never had a choice. She was created and trained to be nothing more than an assassin.
Adiós, pendejo.
Her early years were filled with violence, manipulation, and torment, as she was forced to carry out brutal missions without ever being allowed to experience the world beyond the lab. But despite the horrors of her past and the darkness within her, Laura refuses to be defined by what she was made to do. She fights for something more, something better. X-23 uses her skills to protect the innocent and proves that even those created for destruction can rise above their origins and become true heroes. Laura Kinney wasn't given a childhood or a choice. She was made to kill. But now, she's more than just a clone. She's carving her own path, fighting for something more than survival. At number 9, we have a hero whose greatest battle is against his own mind, Sentry.
Oh, no.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Sentry is the embodiment of a hero with unimaginable power, but also with a deeply fractured mind. Gifted with the power of 1,000 exploding suns, he is capable of defeating gods. But his greatest enemy is not a villain, it's himself. The Sentry is constantly at war with the Void, his darker half that threatens to consume him and everyone around him. This struggle makes him a ticking time bomb, torn between his desire to be a hero and the fear of what he could become. Every victory feels precarious, as his mind and powers seem to be on the brink of collapse. But despite the weight of his internal battle, Sentry fights on, determined to protect the world from the very darkness he fights within. His story is one of redemption, destruction, and the never-ending fight to control the power that could destroy everything he loves. Is Sentry the world's greatest protector, or its biggest ticking time bomb? And finally, rounding out the list, we have the Winter Soldier.
Is that Bucky? It's a Winter Soldier. That guy is so cool.
Bucky Barnes was once Captain America's best friend, but after decades of brainwashing, he became the ruthless Winter Soldier. Forced to carry out deadly missions for Hydra, he left behind a trail of blood and regret.
What kind of super serum did you get?
I don't know, regular. Hydra.
Hydra. Oh, fancy.
Even after breaking free from their control, Bucky is haunted by the atrocities he committed, constantly battling the guilt and darkness within. Despite this, he now fights for justice, using his skills to protect the innocent and make amends for his past. His journey is one of redemption, proving that even a hero with a dark past can strive to do what's right. He didn't choose to be a killer, but that doesn't erase the past. Bucky Barnes may never escape his history, but he's sure as hell not letting it define him. And that's our list of the 8 darkest heroes in Marvel history. But before we go, here are a few more who almost made the cut. First up, we've got Magic, an X-Men member and mutant sorceress who's constantly fighting the darkness within. Her power and tragic past make her one of Marvel's most complex heroes. Next, Black Knight. Wielding the cursed ebony blade, he's constantly tormented by its dark power, as the blade itself threatens to consume his soul. Then we have Cloak, a hero who battles the darkness within. His powers come from the Dark Force dimension, and he constantly struggles to keep the darkness from consuming him. And finally, Shang-Chi, the master of Kung Fu. Trained by his villainous father, Shang-Chi struggles to break free from his dark legacy while fighting to forge his own path as a hero. And that wraps up our look at Marvel's darkest heroes. They may not wear capes or follow the rules, but their commitment to justice, no matter how brutal, sets them apart. Let me know your favorite in the comments, and thanks for watching.